that's very, very much my own. And that's, I think, what I'm working towards. Doing a piece that was about standing up for human rights, and I thought immediately about Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People, which is a French painting about the French Revolution, of course, and it kind of harkens back to antiquity. And the main figure, the female figure, is sort of a reference to Greek sculpture and a lot of Western culture and art, and also the sort of the revolutionary aspects of that time. The piece is ultimately sort of a shipwreck. It's basically a shipwreck. I wanted to set it against a shipwreck, but people are very much helping each other out of the muck, and I think that's I think of it as sort of a hopeful message. I think the main figure is sort of looking off the frame up into a sort of a brighter future, and there are people who are helping one another out of the waters, and I think that that's ultimately all we have in any given time. I like to think about different times in history. That's all anybody has, is just their sort of people around them. I just want to have a very honest take of life, the world, the human condition. I think that can take up a whole lifetime just thinking about. I think there's sort of a foolishness to being romantic, or having a romantic ideal sort of sense of the world, and there's also maybe I don't know, it's both foolish and I think also somewhat wise, because I think that it takes somewhat of a fool to realize the sort of the beauty of the world sometimes, and I hope to be that. And I think that I'm interested in work that is like that. I love that in other people's work, and I hope to affect people with my work in a similar way. Something new. I love being surprised by a process, because I think that's very kind of indicative of how the world is. I think things are constantly changing, and if I could make a work that is true to the way I see the world, um, it's some semblance of truth. I think the closer it gets to truth, the more powerful it is, and I think that that's sort of I'm hoping to that I've sort of kind of scratched on a way of creating work that's similar to the sort of the concepts that I'm trying to explore in my work. It's very much about um, structure and chaos, the two opposites coming together in an image that is kind of unexpected and yet at the same time familiar. I really, really want that to come across. I want it to be an image that no one really quite knows why they like it. And that's really compelling to me, because I think the most compelling work to me is that type of work. And I think that that's really what I'm working towards. Francis Bacon said that if a person could explain what makes a painting great, there'd be no sense in painting it. You could just be a writer. You could just write about something. It's a unique art form in that it has to work visually. You have to see it. It has to kind of affect you in a way that you can't quite explain fully, which is kind of frustrating, but sort of liberating to think about it that way. It's hard to describe a symphony. It's hard to describe. It's even hard to describe a poem, which uses language very well outside of um, the stanzas. But it's very exciting to me to think about it in that way, because that's, I think, ultimately what I'm trying to do most of the time, is make a powerful image and be surprised by it.